Okay, we're back down at the camper today, and look what come in. The RVAirflow did make it before my trip, and we're going to see if we can't get this front AC working a lot better than it was before. If you watched my last video, I took some temps. I did okay. The rear AC worked out really well, and making sure the front AC was running at optimal did cool, but the front's struggling just a little bit because of the ducted system. But stay tuned, we're going to try to get this installed. See if we can't get some better AC in the RV. Okay, so this is how it came to me. UPS just dropped it off. And this video isn't sponsored or anything. I bought this with my own money, and we're going to get it installed. I watched a couple of videos on it. Fairly simple instruction sheet there. This looks like this is for most of the Colemans. They have different ones for each unit. So in the top of the box, you have two ceiling foam pieces. These are the vents. This is kind of interesting because most of the ones I've seen elsewhere have been black, but this seems to be decent plastic. That looks a little different, so they've added a bridge, I guess, in the middle from all the other ones that I've seen. Same thing. It does look. I did notice one thing. It looks like maybe they've cut one side off. Most of the other pictures and videos that I've seen, this has been symmetrical. It looks like they've shaved one side off here. And here we have the unit, and there's one sticker in the box. So this thing's pretty simple. Looks like they've actually molded it maybe into two pieces and glued it together. So you've got a piece here, and then a centerpiece. I don't know if that's going to catch that seam or not, but it looks like there was a seam, or still is a seam right here, and there's another one down here at the bottom. But pretty simple design. Basically this goes up into the exhaust vent that's basically butts right up next to it, so no air can escape through the actual system, and it vents out on each side. So this should drastically improve airflow. The big thing you gain too is this opens up the return area. So if you watch my previous video, it's probably only using like a third of the filter. This is actually going to open up that area where it can actually use more of the filter, and it gets rid of the bottom channel piece that's on the chiller vent face that is designed. I guess you're supposed to be able to close those vents, but it's pretty leaky to get it to run through a ducted system. But this should seal it up. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've got the unit running now. Probably going to let it run just a little bit. It's pretty hot down here. As I take this lower section off, we're going to start with the filters. Okay, so we got the filters off. Now I'm actually going to cut the unit off and take that bottom cover off. All you really need to do this is a Phillips head screwdriver. So that's off. Just to kind of give you a better idea, I'm going to bring this a little closer to the camera. So this is the channel that the air is exhausting out of. As you can see up there, big sections of this are blocked off by that lower plate. So this is going to replace all that and really just no air is actually going to come down into this. And again, this tape was just put in just to kind of keep that foam block from moving around in case I had to take the trip prior to this coming in. There's 4 screws that hold either plate in. So the plate's off now. I'll let you take a look at it. May help. So this is the plate that directs air, and as you can see, really all you got is these little foam pieces. These I'm sure have leaked some. There's not even any around where the screws are at. There's a big gap there. I'm going to take out the foam piece that I had taped in. So this is what gives you all the problem. This piece of foam will actually kick out or kick down or move around. Nothing really sticks to it. There is one side with some foam on it that you can get some tape to stick to. But what we're doing here, that's going to get rid of all that. Okay, so there's another shot of the directions. We get some focus there. Just go over these real quick. Remove filters, remove your covers, assembly cover. You want to remove the air shower plate. I'm assuming that's the front, and then the mounting plate is beneath that. And then you want to remove that 1-inch separator. And it says remove any silver full tape used to install. There was no full tape on my camper, so that's why that was falling down. You can see it there, I added some full tape to it. Okay, so you're going to need, on mine it's a 5/16 socket. I'm basically going to put this on the impact, remove the screws. One thing you got to be careful of, we're taking the screws out that actually mount the air conditioner to the ceiling, so you don't want any really movement. So I probably wouldn't do this on a windy day. Another thing is a lot of the air conditioners have like a torque spec where you measure how much compression you've got. Both the new air conditioner and this air conditioner, they both have a little tab. They have a little tab hanging off of the foam piece that basically you want that tab to come down and just get right to the surface. So I'm going to repeat that when I screw it back in. But we're going to take this bottom mounting ring off real quick. So that bottom ring's off. We're going to set it to the side. Okay, so it looks like we got a good test fit. The big thing you're looking for is if you look up through these holes, it helps to have a light actually shining up. But you can look up through these holes and see the brass inserts that are in the air conditioner. And be sure to remove any tape or anything that you've actually added. And another thing to note, there's actually a shroud for the other style, and on this one in particular, you've got these little plastic things that cover the bolt holes. This one was sticking down really long. Let me kind of get a close-up shot if we can get one there. There we go. So be looking for stuff like that that's sticking really close to that vent hole. You don't want that to get trapped in between this and cause you a leak or cause this not to sit up flush. Okay, so that one we got to make a little clearance just because of tape. Same for that one. So they don't exactly fit. We'll have to do a little bit of clearancing. Some of that's because there's a little bit of additional tape in there. Okay, we got one in. So now we've got those fitted in good and tight. This one's tight, this one's tight. And we're just going to remove a little bit more duct tape that I had added. Keep it out of the way. Make sure that we have a clear path. Get it connected. Okay, so I'm not sure this is how it's supposed to be, but those two strips seem to fit really close. Wrapping it like this. This does provide enough push out on the plenum area to catch the styrofoam, so we're going to go with this. So this is what you want to end up with after you test fit these and make sure that they go in. So that one's good and stuck down. We're going to pull this one back out, and we're going to do the same thing on it. So just in case you didn't catch it in the first part of the video, this is what you end up with. It's got a little bit of instructions but no clear picture. But what I'm doing is starting at this corner, going around, and then leaving this. There's nothing there to brace up against, so I'm leaving that open. And that seems to consume the whole strip. Now we got both sides in. Each side presses in just a little bit, which I'm sure we're going to need to get this up in there. Yeah. So it's a fit. It's tight, but it's not tight enough to actually hold the weight of that styrofoam up. But now that I know it fits, we're going to grab the mounting ring and the screws. It's probably going to be the hardest part of this whole process, is getting the mounting ring up there, screws, everything lined up. So I'm basically just, I don't know if this is going to work, but this is what we're going to try first. Hopefully that'll stay there without hitting me in the head. So now we're just going to very slowly and carefully work these screws and make sure that we don't get anything cross-threaded. I'm just snugging these up, just trying to get it close. Sure that's seated good. Just going to kind of feel around, make sure that my vents are still where I thought they should be, and they are. So we should be good. So what I'm going to have to do now, I actually cannot see the strips that are here. So I'm going to have to reach my hand up in there and try to see if I can at least feel and try to get a level plane. Basically, you want the air conditioner to be level and torqued evenly. So that feels pretty even on this side. See how close we are to our tabs. We're right at the tabs, I'm assuming, because this air conditioner's already been installed. It pretty much went back to where it was at without a whole lot of torque. So there we go. Now that should be installed. Put this temp sensor or freeze sensor up above, and we'll install the bottom plate and see what happens. Okay, so our bottom plate's back on. I'm going to go turn the air conditioner back on, get some air going in here. It's getting pretty hot. Okay, so apologize for the audio, but I need to reach up in here, just kind of feel around, make sure the air's going where we want it to go. So I feel a lot more return air getting sucked up through this column. I'm going to reach out here. This vent over here used to just barely blow air. Now I can tell I've got a lot more flow of air. We'll throw the filters back on, and I'll just measure out my finger and see how much more flow we've got on the return side. So this is broken into fours. Now we're actually getting three-fourths of the filter is now sucking in air. And there's a little bit coming through this one, but it's pretty even. So that's got to be a lot more flow coming out. And I can go ahead and tell you, I can already feel the air. The little bit I had on at the start of the video, it really couldn't even tell that it had cooled any. I've had this on for just a few seconds, and it already is I can feel cold air blowing on me. So I think that's made quite a bit of difference. one thing that annoyed me that I just noticed, every once in a while you'd actually get a little bit of rattle out of these filters. Mainly on this side because there was a lot of suction. This is completely sucked up against the air conditioner now. So you hear that rattle? I don't think I'll get that anymore. So that's completed. Standing here, there's a vent just directly in front of me. I can feel it. I would guess at least probably twice as much air coming out of that vent, and it's really cold. So I believe this is going to drastically increase the cooling capacity of this center unit. Hope some of the tips pointed out in this help some folks out. The only issue that I had with this is it's not super clear on here how to seal up those vents. So I kind of guessed. I'm assuming that you would need to put the foam to cause those vents to push out a bit and have foam. So when you shove the styrofoam piece up in there, it actually pushes out on a bit and seals up. That seems to have worked well, and we're getting a lot of flow. Best part is I don't have to worry about that piece of foam falling out anymore. I don't have to worry about the vents if they get knocked open or what have you. They're no longer functional. Anyway, if you've got a camper that has this style air conditioner and you've got ducts, highly recommend it. Just standing here, I can feel it's getting cool quick. Hopefully this helps some folks out, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.